the brain of a scientist that was able to understand the unknown and hidden designs of the universe. After the death of that scientist, that brain was secretly cut into small pieces and hidden for more than 40 years. I was talking about the world's greatest scientist, Albert Einstein. Yes, after his death, his brain was separated from his head and hidden. That is, Albert Einstein's brain was stolen. And this act of theft was done by a pathologist named Dr. Thomas Stoltz-Harvey, who was responsible for the autopsy. To understand the reason behind this mysterious incident, we have to go back to the very beginning. Come, let's start from the start. Basically, on the 14th of March, 1879, scientist Albert Einstein was born in the city of Ulm in Germany. He was born into a Jewish family. At the time of birth, Einstein's head was larger than that of normal babies. So everyone thought that Einstein might become mentally unstable. Not only that, Einstein did not speak a single word during the first 4 years of his life, whereas normal children start speaking within 2-3 years of birth. Einstein's father, Hermann Einstein, was an electrical engineer, and his mother, Pauline Einstein, was a music lover who played the piano. From childhood, Einstein was quiet in nature, spoke very little, and was extremely inattentive to studies. Because of this, one of his teachers once told him, "You will never amount to anything." And that very student became one of the greatest scientists in the world. Among the discoveries of this great scientist, Albert Einstein, some of the most notable ones are: Number 1, photoelectric effect. Through this, he proved that light is not only a wave, but also behaves like particles, which are called photons. From this discovery, solar cells, lasers, and quantum technology were later developed. And for this work, he received the Nobel Prize in 1921. Number 2, Brownian motion. According to his explanation, the random movement of tiny particles floating in water is actually proof of the existence of atoms and molecules. Through this, for the first time, it was proven that atoms are truly real. Number 3, special theory of relativity. One day Einstein thought, what would happen if I could travel at the speed of light? From this thought emerged another extremely important theory, which states that time, motion, and space are relatively connected to one another. And at that moment was born the most famous formula in history, MK. This means energy and mass are actually interchangeable forms of each other. From this formula, nuclear energy was later developed. In 1915, Einstein published his greatest theory, general relativity. According to him, gravity is not a force of pull. Rather, it is the curvature of space and time. The massive mass of the sun bends the space around it, and the Earth revolves around the sun following that curved path. To explain this more simply, imagine you stretch a piece of cloth evenly in the air. Here, the cloth represents space. Now, if you place a heavy round object in the center of that cloth, the middle part will sink downward, creating a curved path around that object. Here, the heavy object is the sun, and the Earth revolves around the sun following that curved path. And in this way, Einstein became known as a world-famous scientist. However, this great scientist passed away on the 18th of April, 1955, at Princeton Hospital in America. After his death, the autopsy of his body was conducted by pathologist Dr. Thomas Stoltz-Harvey, and he secretly cut open Einstein's skull, removed the brain, and hid it in his laboratory without informing anyone. Basically, he did this to conduct research on Einstein's brain. He wanted to know what was so special inside Albert Einstein's brain that made him one of the greatest scientists in the world. But when this matter later became public, Einstein's son, Hans Albert Einstein, became extremely angry. Because before his death, Albert Einstein himself had said that after his death, no cutting, experimentation, or research should be done on his body or any body parts. Although later, when Dr. Harvey explained the research purpose to Einstein's son, the family eventually agreed. However, due to this unethical incident, the hospital authorities fired Dr. Harvey from his job. Later, Dr. Harvey took Einstein's brain with him and moved to his home in Kansas. But trouble occurred there as well. Dr. Harvey's wife could not accept the fact that he secretly took Einstein's brain and lost his job because of it. As a result, arguments began between them over the brain, and eventually Dr. Harvey and his wife got divorced. After that, Dr. Harvey moved to another city with his belongings, along with Einstein's brain. For nearly 30 years, he kept this brain with him. At first, he cut Einstein's brain into 240 pieces and sent each piece or slide in separate boxes to various research centers and scientists around the world. Research on Einstein's brain continued for almost 30 years. Finally, in 1985, a research paper on Einstein's brain was published. Although this was the first research paper, many more were published later. These studies stated that some parts of Einstein's brain were different compared to normal humans. Firstly, Einstein's inferior parietal lobule was longer, larger, and more interconnected than that of ordinary people. Simply put, the part related to complex mathematical thinking was larger in Einstein's brain. That is why he could solve complex equations very easily. Secondly, there is a large groove in the brain called the Sylvian fissure. Some portions of this groove were absent in Einstein's brain. This means that where there is no groove, neural connections increase. In other words, different regions of the brain can connect more quickly and exchange information faster. Simply put, Einstein's brain had more shortcut roads inside it. Thirdly, Einstein's brain had a higher number of glial cells. Now the question is, what are glial cells? These are basically helper cells that provide strength to neurons and help them function faster. In simpler terms, the neurons in Einstein's brain could think at a high level for a long time. According to a group of researchers, 50% of Einstein's genius was due to his genetics or brain structure, and the remaining 50% was due to environment, meaning extensive study, thinking for hours, and deep observation. However, he did not become Einstein just because his brain was different. His habit of thinking made him Einstein. In the end, Dr. Thomas Harvey, who stole Einstein's brain, deeply regretted his actions and said, "Stealing this brain was the biggest mistake of my life." Because of this brain theft, he lost his job, his family, his reputation, and 30 years of his life were ruined. Although later, realizing his mistake, Dr. Thomas Harvey returned the stolen brain to Princeton Hospital in 1998. Currently, Einstein's brain is preserved at Princeton Hospital and the National Museum of Health and Medicine. Later, Dr. Thomas Harvey passed away in 2007, and before his death, he said, "I am sorry for the way it all happened."